Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A body was pulled tonight from the Red River in Grand Forks, and police aren't confirming its identity, but they were looking for a missing man who disappeared in downtown Grand Forks over the weekend.
25-year-old Aaron Pigeon was last seen leaving the Level 10 bar in downtown Grand Forks at 11:30 Saturday night. Pigeon, as you can see, is Caucasian, 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighs 180 pounds. He was last seen wearing a maroon shirt with black writing, blue jeans, and white sandals. Now, his parents earlier told us today that Aaron lives with them in Badger, Minnesota, where he works construction. He was staying with his cousin in Grand Forks on Saturday. We're told they were doing some bar hopping when he stepped outside the Level 10 bar for a cigarette, and that's the last time he was seen.
Has he ever taken off before and gone for a week or
Never,
stuff like
never,
that?
never. He's always kept in contact with us, and what's scary is his phone is dead.
Really? Okay.
And he hasn't come back for his truck at his cousin's or anything.
His phone is never dead. He always keeps his phone charged up and everything, so he's always on Facebook all the time and everything.
Searchers found the body tonight in the river near the Sorley Bridge. That's the area that they were looking for Pigeon.
Well, I used to live in Fargo. It's a whole different story, but it's quiet out here.
Plenty of commotion in a North Fargo neighborhood today. Some residents were evacuated from their apartments as the SWAT team moved about.
Now, neighbors were outside for about 4 hours as the homes were surrounded, only to learn that one of the neighbors inside one of the apartment buildings was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot. Scenes like this are becoming more of the norm in the FM area, and Valley News Team's Krista Boehm takes a look at just how often SWAT teams are called.
Gary Wilcher and those who live around his 30th Avenue North apartment were ready to head back into their building as the SWAT team moved out.
I was trying to figure out what was going on until I got talking to my neighbors.
Several officers came ready for any challenge, geared up with large guns and other heavy-duty equipment.
I heard them banging on the doors. They made everyone on the first floor get out of the building.
Whether it's police or the SWAT team, they take no chances when there's a person with a gun.
They did make initial entry just into the threshold of the apartment, at which time they heard what they believed to be a gunshot.
That's when the SWAT team becomes a necessary measure. On average, the Red River Valley SWAT team is called 12 to 13 times a year. So far this year, they've responded 6 times, which can be a frightening sight in any neighborhood.
And I'm from Boston. And my father's a cop. But this is quite surprising.
Something that Wilcher isn't used to seeing near his quiet home.
That's one reason I moved out of here, because it's got where you couldn't even walk the streets in town.
In North Fargo, Krista Boehm, Valley News Live.
Sergeant Mitchell says SWAT team callouts seem to happen in waves where there's several over a short period of time.
Fargo Police Chief Dave Todd is asking the City Commission to increase the department's budget to make room for 6 new officers, which would cost the city more than $921,000. Chief Todd says it's to address the ever-increasing calls for service and growing population. Now, there's been a lot of talk in our community following the recent high-profile crime in the Fargo area, from kidnapping to breaking and entering, shootings and murders. Many are asking what's going on. We talked with parents and students at NDSU's orientation today about how they perceive the recent crime. Some tell us it's been blown out of proportion, while others say the increase is concerning.
Not worried about him taking care of himself. Thank God we've never had a situation where we've had to worry about it, but he knows the things that can happen. And to this point, I've really respected all the decisions that he's made. And that's what it's all about, is making the right choices.
Police say overall crime rates have gone up, including violent crime and gang crime, but they do say compared to other parts of the country, it's still a very safe place to live.
A Minnesota State trooper who works in our area is facing an internal investigation for speeding. It happened April 28th on Highway 210 in Fergus Falls. Sergeant Jesse Graybo was cited for going 94 miles per hour in a 55 zone. Investigators say that Graybo was on duty and driving a patrol car at the time. A misdemeanor speeding charge was filed against Graybo on June 26th. Fargo police arrested a man for stealing a vehicle that had a 3-year-old boy sleeping in the back seat last night. The boy was reunited with his parents hours later, despite the fact that the Amber Alert system didn't work the way it was supposed to. Fargo police say they're reviewing their Amber Alert procedure to try and figure out where things went wrong. Right now, Fargo police have to fax a form to the Red River Regional Dispatch Center. Then the dispatch center faxes the form to the North Dakota Department of Emergency Services, where it is then broadcast.
Unfortunately, in the case last night, State Radio did not receive a request for an Amber Alert until roughly 11:39 that evening.
There was some breakdown in the channel. Now, you have to remember this Amber Alert system isn't something we utilize a lot, and it's one of those systems where it involves multiple different agencies.
We did call the Red River Regional Dispatch Center to see why the information was not sent to the North Dakota Emergency Services. They have yet to get back to us.
It was a narrow 5-4 ruling. The Supreme Court ruled today that states may use a specific drug to kill their inmates through lethal injection, even if there's a chance they suffer first. It's a crushing blow to death penalty opponents. The drug midazolam is supposed to sedate the inmate before other drugs to stop the heart are used. But last year, the drug made headlines for contributing a botched execution in Oklahoma. The drug is used in Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Louisiana, and Virginia, just some of the 32 states that have the death penalty.
More than 1,200 people paid their last respects to Zach and Connor Kowalvog. It was standing room only inside the auditorium at Bethel Church in South Fargo today. The two teens died when their truck rolled on Interstate 94 near Dalton, Minnesota last week. Special tributes were paid to the brothers during today's service. There were special memorial items in the lobby, and the two were remembered in song and prayer.
2 people from Colorado wanted for murder and the death of their 4-week-old baby have been arrested in Cass County, Minnesota. Authorities received a tip from the Cass Lake area, and just before 2 p.m. today, arrested Matthew Ogden and Phyllis Wyatt. Parachute, Colorado police say they were called to an apartment for a child who was not breathing. The baby died on June 20th. Parachute police posted a photo of Ogden, who is the father, late Sunday night, saying that he was wanted for first-degree murder. The mother, Wyatt, was wanted for child abuse causing death.
Banks in Greece are closed until July 6 as that country struggles to avoid economic collapse. Bank account holders are also facing limits on what they can withdraw from ATMs. At 60 euros a day, that's about $67. That didn't stop people from lining up at the ATM machines today in Athens. Greek stock and bond trading have also been halted. The moves come after the Greek government decided late last week to pull out of bailout talks with European officials and the International Monetary Fund. Greece's prime minister has put a bailout proposal to voters in a referendum this Sunday. Greece must make a loan payment to the IMF on Tuesday, but it appears they may default. Now, as a result, the country may be forced to scrap the euro currency that several European countries are using. Tourists should still have access to cash and credit and debit cards, and they should not be affected by this.
Well, the nation's first refinery built in nearly 40 years was opened to the public today, right in our own state. The $425 million Dakota Prairie Diesel Refinery near Dickinson will process 20,000 barrels of diesel a day. MDU Resources Group and Calumet Specialty Products partnered, and they worked together on this project.
I think this refinery is going to be very important in the local economy. Unlike a lot of the drilling activities that take place, this is a permanent establishment.
The refinery runs around the clock, and it has been producing diesel for a little over a month so far.
Sanford Health celebrated its North Dakota office today with a grand opening and ribbon cutting. City and business leaders joined in on the observation. Sanford Health Plan will become the insurance provider for members of the North Dakota Public Employees Retirement System. This should begin July 1st.
In 2013, we received the North Dakota Medicaid expansion contract, and now here July 1st, just a couple days away, we will have the North Dakota Public Employee Retirement System as well. And so we'll have 174,000 members when that contract starts here July 1st, and we're very proud to be supportive of the North Dakota growth and economic development.
The plan will add 29,000 contracts covering 65,000 lives to the Sanford Health Plan. And remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day.